Don't miss this riveting tale. Imagine a time when silence was the weapon that brought down massive, impregnable walls. Surprised? You should be. This is the truly astonishing tale of the walls of Jericho, a narrative where unwavering faith and strict obedience led to an unforgettable miracle that has been told for generations. Our extraordinary story takes place after the Israelites had wandered aimlessly in the vast, unforgiving desert for a long 40 years. This was a generation grown in the relentless sands of perseverance and hardship, who, at last, glimpsed the magnificent Promised Land, an oasis they had longed for with every step in the searing heat. Yet, at the very brink of their aspirations, their entry was barred, dauntingly guarded by the monumental and towering walls of the formidable city of Jericho. Standing tall and proud, these ancient walls were thought to be impregnable, designed as a grand symbol of security and dominion in a harsh and unpredictable world. But sometimes what seems unbeatable is only waiting for something greater to challenge it. At this critical juncture stood Joshua, the wise and deeply revered leader guiding Israel's people. Having succeeded the legendary Moses, Joshua shouldered the immense responsibility of leading with unwavering faith. He was not just their guide and their warrior. He was their voice, the conduit to a higher power. But Joshua knew what lay before him was not just a physical battle of swords and shields, it was a profound testament of faith and trust. So, in his wisdom, he sought the counsel of the divine, craving guidance and insight beyond human understanding. In the quiet stillness of the night, as the delicate mist lifted hauntingly over the serene valleys, Joshua encountered a mysterious and ethereal figure. This was not a mere shadow, but a heavenly being, an angel, a direct messenger from God, wielding an awe-inspiring fiery sword. "Remove your sandals," the angel instructed, in a voice both gentle and commanding, "for you stand on holy ground." And thus began the unfolding of an extraordinary and divine plan, conceived not in warfare, but in faith. The people of Jericho, confident in their seemingly unbreachable defenses, had fortified their city, assured in their impregnable fortifications. But little did they realize, their greatest challenge would not descend upon them with brute force, but with an unyielding, almost disconcerting silence followed by a magnificent blast of sound. Joshua convened his people with the intriguing plan that had been revealed, a parade of faith around the formidable walls. For 6 days, the Israelites were to march silently around the city. Sound strange? It was unprecedented, an act that turned the seemingly absurd into a brilliant strategy of faith. For 6 days straight, the only sound echoing in the arid air was the gentle rustle of sand beneath sandals and the soft, persistent rhythm of countless footsteps. Meanwhile, on top of the towering walls, the people of Jericho watched, jested, and laughed at what seemed a futile and bizarre display of ritual. Yet the Israelites continued steadfastly, their silent conviction growing stronger and more potent with each passing day. Then came the 7th day, a day destined to be like no other in the annals of history. This was to be the culmination of a week's worth of silent prayers, an extraordinary crescendo of collective faith. Imagine an army, 600,000 strong, encircling the city in profound stillness. And then, at Joshua's command, 7 priests lifted ancient ram's horns to the sky. The sound that pierced the air was unlike any other, a clarion call that resonated powerfully between the heavens and the earth itself, shaking the very core of all who heard it. Then, breaking the long-held silence of generations, Joshua commanded the people to shout to the Lord with all their might. Their voices rose, powerful and unified, a chorus of faith and hope. And the ground trembled beneath them, the walls shivered, and before the stunned, disbelieving eyes of Jericho's inhabitants, the walls crumbled, tumbled down as if swept away by an invisible, divine hand. A miracle unfolded before them, not through violence, but through the extraordinary power of collective faith and unwavering obedience to divine counsel. But why this peculiar strategy? Because sometimes in life, conviction can move mountains, and in this extraordinary tale, it toppled walls. Thus, Jericho was conquered not with the sword, but by an unyielding spirit, by a people who believed against all odds, led by a leader who trusted unequivocally. So, what lessons does this ancient tale impart to us today? It teaches us that true victory is not always won by might or visible strength. Sometimes it is the quiet, the faith-filled pause, the moment of introspective reflection that carries the greatest force and power. The walls of Jericho stand now not as a monument of what was destroyed, but as a testament to what can be overcome with faith. Today, whenever we face our own seemingly insurmountable walls, we remember the tale of the walls of Jericho. We remind ourselves that sometimes silence, obedience, and belief shout louder and carry more weight than any spoken word or deed. Would you let faith move your obstacles? Would you dare to march quietly when the world expects only chaos and noise? This is the immortal story of the walls of Jericho, where the faithful marched with purpose and the mighty fell with grace.